Good morning, folks. How's everyone doing this beautiful, bright, sunny June morning? Well, as we prepare to begin the ceremony today, please take a moment to silence your cell phones. I'll do it too, as an example. Oh yeah, I have to silence my phone. Hold on. Okay. All right, well, thank you. All right, will you please stand for the processional?
Good morning. Come on, come on, come on. With 500 people, we have to start a lot louder. Good morning. So much better. Good morning. I'm Nagi Naganathan, President of Oregon Tech. It's my great pleasure to welcome you all to this event. Class of 2024, welcome to your commencement ceremony. At this time, I request you to stand if you are able and join me in opening our ceremonies with the national anthem. Please be seated. To our Oregon Tech graduating class, keynote speaker, Oregon House Representative, and Ways and Means co-chair, the Honorable Tana Sanchez. Board Chair John Davis, Vice Chair Jones, Trustee Don Gentry, Trustee Kant Gopalpur, members of the senior leadership and executive staff, deans, department chairs, faculty, staff, families, and friends, welcome. We are so happy that you all have gathered here today to celebrate this important milestone in the lives of our graduates. A very happy Father's Day to all the fathers and grandfathers, and I believe there is at least one great-grandfather in the audience with us today. Yeah, wonderful, happy Father's Day. Thank you as well to the Wilsonville community for always welcoming and supporting our students and all of us. We appreciate the leadership of Mayor Julie Fitzgerald, city councilors, and the partnership that we have with you, as well as with our county commissioners. As we begin the ceremony, we recognize that Oregon Tech's Portland Metro campus resides on the ancestral and contemporary home of the Clackamas, Cathlamet, Multnomah, the Tualatin Kalapuya people, Tumwater, and the Watlala bands of the Chinook, who have stewarded this land since time immemorial. In doing so, we honor their legacy and lives, as well as commit to continuing to build the relationships with the native peoples of this region, the state of Oregon, and across the United States. I would also like to recognize and honor Oregon Tech's graduates who are veterans and who are currently active in our military, as well as all of those in the audience today who have served in the armed forces. Thank you for all that you have done for all of us and all that you bring to our communities and to the workplace. You are a very important part of our legacy that we will continue to cherish and nurture. Some of you may not know that Oregon Tech was founded in 1947 to help World War II veterans assimilate to civilian life. that happened in Klamath Falls. Would all the veterans and active duty personnel in the gathering today please rise to be recognized? All the veterans. Thank you. I'm also pleased to greet Oregon Tech's alums who are here with us today. Thank you for continuing to engage with and support Oregon Tech. You are not only a connection to our past, you are a foundational building block for our future success. Now, speaking to our graduates, just 4 or 5 years ago, I know in a handful of cases, it may be just a little longer, you set a goal to be seated where you are here today. So if you are rejoicing to have finally survived all the last-minute papers, all those computers that crashed just before you are going to back it up, all the flipped life routines you navigated through the pandemic, both for yourselves and your families, given the more non-traditional student body at Portland Metro, you have good reason to be rejoicing, and you should enjoy every moment of it. I'm sure there were days when some of you weren't quite sure if you are going to be in your cap and gown rejoicing today alongside your peers, yet you are here today. This is a testament to your dedication and determination. Not only are you here as a graduate, virtually all of you either have a career or already have a job and career plan lined up. Oregon Tech is proud to be a university that accelerates social mobility for our graduates and continuing to offer the best return on investment for our students and families. The Georgetown University on the East Coast did their own analysis in 2019 and then in 2022. They ranked Oregon Tech as #1 in the state of Oregon and in the top 3% in the nation out of 4,500 colleges and universities that they independently analyzed. So congratulations to our faculty, our staff, and our students. Please join me in a round of applause. As Oregon Tech graduates, you have been shaped by our unique Polytechnic mission. We are a different kind of university. You have been honed by a Polytechnic pedagogy and ethos, project-based learning, teamwork, creativity, problem-solving, real-life simulations as in our EMS programs, and application-driven assignments. As you launch your careers, you can and will definitely use your training to continue to bridge the gap between innovation and implementation, between theory and practice, and between aspiration and reality. In this way, whether you want to make the world healthier through improved medical care or more sophisticated through new engineering technologies, the power to do that is within you. But how does that power and talent within you see its full potential beyond your personal career? I strongly believe it is through community engagement. One could ask, what does this have to do with anything? I have a technical degree from a Polytechnic university. What does it talk about community engagement? Polytechnic education and Polytechnic University cannot be another diploma mill. Obviously, you all have to have good careers, and we have to grant degrees. You earn them, that is true. But a Polytechnic University and Oregon Tech is Oregon's Polytechnic University is not just another diploma mill. A Polytechnic University is unique in its inherent relevance to practice, hence the community it serves. As a Polytechnic University, we are committed to being a surrogate lab to solve actual problems for a real customer in our society, whether it be healthcare, engineering, and other businesses and industries with their technical problems, or real-life applications in the community at large. I strongly believe Polytechnic education is not an esoteric pursuit. When you look at the professional engineer's creed, it does not talk about the next best widget or innovation. It essentially talks about improving the human condition. It talks about placing service before profit, placing the honor and standing of the profession before personal advantage. These are the actual words in the creed. And emphasizing public welfare above all other considerations. I like to say, technical professionals practice in the context of humanities, and that is so true. Commitment to community engagement is also one of the pillars of Oregon Tech strategic plan. It is not a cosmetic pillar. It is a purposeful declaration of how we educate, train, innovate, and apply our talents as members of Oregon's only Polytechnic University, both from within the university and when we practice outside. Despite our limited resources, Oregon Tech already practices what it preaches at whatever levels we can afford to do that today. The examples are our community-facing autism clinic in Klamath Falls and the dental hygiene clinics in Klamath Falls and in Salem, co-located with the Shemeketa Community College. I want to recognize our faculty and staff architects of the program. Please hold your applause until I recognize all of them by name. Dr. Maria Lynn Kessler and Dr. Don Bailey of our applied psychology programs are here. Would you please stand up when I call out your name? But please hold your applause. We have our autism clinic in rural Klamath Falls is the only clinic of its kind in a 75-mile radius to serve children with autism. They have a huge waiting list despite Dr. Bailey's untiring efforts on a daily basis. We have a faculty member, Abigail Rollins, of the dental hygiene department from Shemeketa. We have Galen Morer, Executive Director of Health and Wellness with us. I know I saw her in the audience there. She's waving from the back. Our medical lab science faculty, Caroline Doty, Rachel Barrett, they never stopped producing much needed medical lab scientists through COVID. That program never stopped. Our emergency medical science faculty continues to nurture profession-connected graduates who are committed to changing the disparate care levels for different ethnicities with real-life simulations. I know Chair Jamie Kennel is here. Just a couple of weeks ago, our dental hygiene students and faculty traveled into rural Oregon to help almost 200 patients in one day pro bono. Please give all of our faculty and staff a big round of thanks for what they continue to do. As a Polytechnic University, we have more aspirations than what I just described. There are many more possibilities we have learned based on the positive feedback from the beneficiaries of these community engagements. I'm going to briefly digress. Some of you may be familiar with this. About 20 years ago, Tom Friedman wrote a book. It was called The World is Flat. How many of you have seen that book or read that book? I see a few hands going up here. And the book talked about new technologies that are leveling the playing fields, how China and India at the time were beginning to compete with better economies in developed nations. These two economies continue to charge ahead in that book. And now we all know that is no longer a fictional theme of a book that is happening in real life. In that book, Friedman hypothesized, quote, he said other things, and then he said, with this flattening of the globe, has the world gotten too small and too fast for human beings and their political systems to adjust in a stable manner, end quote. And that is so true in many places. What I'm going to use it here for is to interpolate his hypothesis for the state of Oregon, not necessarily as a question of political stability, but as a question of social disparity between urban and rural Oregon, between the better served and the underserved. I strongly believe as a Polytechnic University, our mission and vision dictate that we become the role models for a community-engaged university. Therefore, as newly minted graduates, I challenge you to engage intentionally even more in the communities to make a difference. Becoming the future leaders of tomorrow, as highlighted in our vision statement, is not just about becoming a higher level executive, which you must pursue and you must become, but also making a difference in the society through those roles. And I ask you to make that commitment today and to be those transformative catalysts to enable more good in our world. And as you launch this unique journey as a Polytechnic University graduates, you deserve our applause. Graduates, I'm sure you will readily agree with me that your success today and the future possibilities did not happen just by your own efforts, but with the support of many special people in your lives, your parents, spouses, significant others, grandparents, and in some cases, children. Without their love and support, this day would not be a reality. I would now like to pay tribute to all the parents and spouses of all the graduates, as well as significant others. May I request the parents, spouses, and significant others of our graduates to please rise. Come on now. I would also like to pay tribute to all the grandparents of the graduates. If you are in the audience and you are able to, would you please rise? May I now ask all the children, in some cases grandchildren, and other beloved ones of our graduates to stand up and be recognized if you are joining us today. Thank you. Please be seated. It's now my pleasure to introduce our next speaker, Mr. John Davis, who is chair of Oregon Tech's Board of Trustees. Chair Davis has a track record of public service in Oregon and also with Oregon Tech and the communities in which he lives and supports. From 2013 to 2017, Chair Davis served as a member of the Oregon House of Representatives, representing this very district, District 26, where we are located. He has also served as a member of the Oregon Tech Foundation Board, including as vice president. Chair Davis has been a member of the university's Board of Trustees since March 22 and was unanimously elected by fellow trustees to serve as a board chair later that year. We are extremely grateful for Chair Davis's dedication to our university. When he is not volunteering his time for the benefit of Oregon Tech and all of us, he is a business, nonprofit, and estate planning attorney practicing in Portland, Bend, and Klamath Falls. He serves as a managing partner in his law firm, Lynch Murphy McLean, LLP. He earned his bachelor's degree from George Fox University and his Juris Doctorate from Willamette University. Chair Davis is one of the Oregon Tech's most ardent champions and a strong supporter of collaboration both internally and externally. Since becoming board chair, he has demonstrated leadership in ensuring the Board of Trustees works in concert with our faculty, students, staff, and administration for continued success as Oregon's Polytechnic University. Thank you, Chair Davis, for all you have done and continue to do. Please join me now in welcoming Board Chair John Davis.
On behalf of the Oregon Tech Board of Trustees, I just want to say welcome and thank you, graduates. Congratulations for such an achievement. Think of all you've been through. Right in the last 4 to 5 years, we've had a small pandemic that sent everybody home, and you've persevered through that. We've come back into hybrid learning, to in-person learning. You've been through changes in administration, changes in staff, and yet you're here today, and I just want to say congratulations and thank you for your commitment. You know, you're not going to probably remember a lot of what all of us talking heads up here have to say today, graduates, but I can think back still, decades ago, to my graduation, and what I remembered was 2 things. One was celebrating with my family after the ceremony, taking pictures together, giving hugs, and just soaking it in with my family. And you've received the thanks, family, for the support you've given. And happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. But the other thing I remember is spending time thanking the staff and the faculty who walked with me every step of the way. Some of my genuine, lifelong friendships to this day are faculty members who I can still call and text. I can come back to campus and visit. Those are the special relationships that you'll remember. You know, on behalf of the Board of Trustees, I recognize that us volunteers as trustees, we come and go. Students, you come and go, and you steward the university for a small period of time. Family comes in and out, and even administrators. But it's our staff and our faculty who endure year after year and decade after decade in service. So if you're a staff or a faculty member, can we thank you and recognize you? And please stand so we can give you the recognition you deserve. Any staff, any faculty. So graduates, please, 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 grab your family today, drag them over to that faculty member who had the amazing lab that changed your perspective, who helped you with that internship. Take them over, introduce them. Those are the relationships that faculty would love to have and your family would love to have. And finally, as a trustee, I want you as families, as faculty, as students to know, as graduates, not just students anymore, graduates, to know the commitment that we have as trustees to ensure and steward that this university is an even better place in 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. You may not realize that over the last 6 or 7 years, both here in Wilsonville and in Klamath Falls and at Scappoose up in our OMIC campus, we've had over $150 million of infrastructure investments in a new engineering center, a new student housing facility that broke ground just this year, in other initiatives that you see day in, day out. We are committed to supporting you as graduates so that in 10 years, you can be even more proud of your degree than you are today. So I am here to celebrate all that you have accomplished on behalf of your Board of Trustees, and I want to one more time take this opportunity for you as graduates to thank your family, your mentors, your friends, supporters, faculty, staff. If you'll just give one more round of applause of thanks on this Father's Day for everybody who supported you through this journey. And on behalf of the Board of Trustees, congratulations to the class of 2024. Thank you.
He always leaves me in a difficult position. I have to use my mechanical engineering skills. Well, I just realized I did not recognize our faculty trustee, Professor Fong Wen. Fong, if he can stand and be recognized. And I'll be remiss if I don't say happy birthday to Professor Sophie Nathanson here. Say happy birthday, Dr. Nathanson. Thank you. Well, thank you, Chair Davis, for your special message and greetings to our graduates. It's now my pleasure to introduce this year's keynote speaker, Oregon House Representative Co-Chair and Honorable Tana Sanchez. I had the honor of meeting Representative Sanchez in 2018, then a relatively new legislator, when she visited our Klamath Falls campus in 2018. Representative Sanchez represents District 43 of North and Northeast Portland. She is the member of the Shoshone-Bannock tribe, Ute, as well as the Carrizo tribes. Representative Sanchez was elected to the Oregon House of Representatives in 2016 and is now the co-chair of the Joint Committee on Ways and Means. As a representative with a background in social work, she advocates for the rights of women, Native peoples, and our state's most vulnerable. She is a co-founder of the Native American Youth and Family Center, an organization that provides culturally specific programs and services to assist members with personal success and balance through cultural empowerment. She helped create the center's Early College Academy and expanded early childhood services affordable housing development, and elder support. She also assisted in building a nationally recognized domestic violence wraparound service model. In 2022, Representative Sanchez helped pass legislation to establish Oregon's 988 suicide crisis hotline and secure funding for mobile crisis response. More recently, she helped advance measures through the Joint Committee on Addiction to enhance Oregon's capacity to support individuals struggling with addiction through improved treatment and recovery services. Representative Sanchez was also instrumental in passing recent legislation to promote dental therapy in areas experiencing a shortage of health professionals in our state. This important bill to increase dental services in rural areas has aligned closely with Oregon Tech's commitment to improving our state's health and wellness through programs such as dental hygiene. We were invited by the Oregon Health Authority to start a new program in dental therapy. We look forward to our representative's support in that area. We are grateful for her support in so many ways in increasing access to much-needed services that improve the quality of life for so many Oregonians. So my friends, please join me in welcoming the Honorable Tana Sanchez.
Well, good morning, everyone. I have written remarks. Let me just tell you, I often stray. The phrase herding cats does come into play now and then, but, well, I guess I should say then again, good morning and congratulations. You made it through whatever challenges that you had to get here. Not just to this day, but to this moment in time, despite all the challenges, struggles, barriers, and deficits that you thought you may have had. First and foremost, I am grateful for you, for furthering your education. That's not an easy thing to do these days. Yes, I said I'm grateful to you for stepping up. And not just because it was expected or hoped for by someone else, but because you wanted to. In my culture, we don't think of just the here and now, or the wants and the needs of the moment. We think of 7 generations from now. Did someone think of you 7 generations ago and hope for your future and plan for it in some way, shape, or form? I hope they did. I hope they thought about you and thought about what you would bring to the world. In the here and now, many of you are probably the foundations of your family in some way. You're the future they dreamed about. Maybe you're that first-generation college student or someone who just pushed hard through all of the struggles. Maybe you're somebody who's stepping back into education, taking a break from raising a family or having to pay the bills. Whatever you did to change your trajectory to be here, again, I'm grateful. Because you're going to be the ones who will support the dreams and innovations that will change the world. Or maybe you're going to be the anchor that holds us through the rough waters. Either way, you are who we've been waiting for. In 7 generations or somewhere along the line, until that time, we are in need of you. And that's why I'm grateful for you taking on this task of furthering your education. Whether you stay here in Oregon, as I hope you will, or take your well-earned education and talents somewhere else, we will always claim you as someone who came from Oregon Tech. We will have the bragging rights for all the great things that you do, so make it good. Please be clear. I'm not being flippant when I say that we need you. Right now, Oregon needs highly educated, task-driven, and determined people for the future of our state. Not that we haven't had those people, but at the moment, we are in as big a workforce deficit as we ever have been. And not just in your respective fields, but in labor, science, social services, technology, everything. The list goes on. I speak to people every single day in my job, and I know how difficult it is out there. And again, so very proud of you and happy for you to be here this day to step forward. We can blame the pandemic, but it's also possible that we may have gotten here at some other point in time. Maybe we didn't invest as well as we could have. That's probably true. But we go forward from here. And needless to say, the pandemic didn't make it easy on us. And most of you started your journey during that time. And again, I'm grateful for that. COVID-19 shook us up quite a bit and made us look at the way things have been and what we thought we could or should do in any given issue. So many things we thought we could not do were blown out of the water. And we've found new ways to do things that we thought we would never change. Trust me, in the legislature, we thought we would never change some things, and they are in fact changed. Some of those things we like because we thought they should have always been this way. We should have always been able to do different things, meetings online, that kind of thing. We didn't always need to show up. And while I appreciate Zoom, though, personally, that, Teams, Google Meets, and all of the rest of the platforms that I struggle to find the mute button on, it's always so much better to be in person, to be able to see your face in all dimensions rather than just that flat two. And just to be able to recognize each other. I don't know how many of you had this same problem. I know that many, many times I had multiple meetings with people online, and when I met them in person, I didn't recognize them because I had never seen their full face. It's amazing. Or they were off camera, who knows. But the pandemic did change us. We are different. We have struggled and we've changed. Now we move forward with the knowledge that it is possible. And just FYI, the journey's not done, and it never will be. The new jobs, our continued education every time you step into a new room. I hope you think about that. And if you decide to go into politics, you never thought about that either, huh? You may not have thought about it. I didn't think about it. I'm a social worker. I work with kids and families. Yes, social workers. And I never thought about going into politics, really. But what I recognize is that every single day when I hear the stories of the work that needs to get done and the things that we need to have happen, even the money, because that's the work that I do, is about the money, right? Is how do we divvy up our minuscule, and they're not minuscule really, but when it comes down to everything that everybody wants, they are kind of light. How do we divvy up those funds and put them all in the right places? And recognize that human beings are just what they are. They're human beings, and everything is interrelated in some way, shape, or form. Because as we're human beings, some of our kids had to go to childcare, and some of our elders had to go to other places to be cared for. All the way along the spectrum, from birth to the very end of things in life, we are all interconnected, and that has to do with the money, the resources, the values, the investments, the infrastructure. All of that is interconnected in some way, shape, or form. And here we are, recognizing that the work that we do every day and the work that you're going to do will be connected in that way. It's so very, very important that we keep that open mind and keep learning. In my culture, we recognize that the earth itself is a teacher, yet it can only speak in subtle ways and tell us that we need to change some things. The natural evolution of things is real, of human beings is real. The dental hygienist can tell you about that and attest to the diminishing wisdom teeth, right? I only had one. So change is upon us, and we will need you to lead the way. Yes, that's what I said. We will need you to lead the way. Maybe some of you don't think of yourselves as leaders. Maybe some of you think of yourselves as more of, nose to the grindstone, get it done, make it happen, get through it, do what we need to do to make the day. Whether you know it or not, you are the people who will move us through the next moment in time. It will be your ideas, your inventions, small or large, that will change the way we do things here and now. Some of you may have heard earlier in this speech where I said the word deficits. Did you have a moment there where you thought about a deficit? Did you think that you ever had one? Sometimes we do. Sometimes we don't think that we could make it. We don't think that we are good enough or strong enough or powerful enough or whatever it is that rolls through our minds about how we make it. And it's so very, very important that we recognize some of those things maybe we think of as deficits are actually just maybe a momentary bump in the road or a variance that we need to change things and to do it a little bit differently. But as human beings, we oftentimes think that, we go both ways. We're either invincible and we think we should do things that we, maybe shouldn't, something that someone will catch on a reel when you thought you could leap that thing and you kind of crashed and burned. Or we sometimes limit ourselves by not thinking that we can do it because we're scared or worried or we think someone will laugh at us. That's not always the case, of course. Sometimes we have to step into things that we never thought we would do. And again, politics. Never thought I would do that. But I absolutely feel that it's the right thing to do sometimes. Because if you're going to change things, if you're going to change the way we do things, you have to step up. That's what real leadership is. And in my culture, we don't wave our hands and say, pick me, although you have to do that to get elected, I'll be honest. But we stand back and we wait for our community to push us forward because they need that advocate, they need that person. So when people try to push you forward, it's okay to move that way. It's okay to move that way. It's okay to move forward, even if you think you can't, because people trust you and believe in you and want that. Not for you to be in the position of limelight, but for you to take that leadership role and advocate for them and to do the things that they need done because maybe they're not strong enough to do it. Maybe you are. It's going to be really, really important, folks. So now, what about tomorrow and the next day and the month and the year beyond? Where do you go from here? I'm sure many of you have that all planned out already, or think you do. And maybe you don't. That's okay. Things will present themselves because you now have an amazing education and an opportunity to make a difference in the world. And again, I am grateful for you for that. I am grateful that you stepped up. I'm grateful that you've taken this chance and that you're here today in this moment in time. What you do with those skills, gosh, I hope so much for you. I really, truly do hope so much for you that you can change the world. And I'll be honest with you, I've had many moments where I've struggled with the speed of where we're going right now. And then there's been so many challenges, and that we live in a new world. But you figured it out, or at least this far. I still haven't figured out the new Microsoft. But some of you are going to be amazing catalysts for change. And maybe you already have been and you didn't know it. The question is now, where do you lead us from here? We need you. We need you now. And the table is set. And will you come take a seat? Thank you.
Well, thank you, Representative Sanchez, for those deep moments of reflections. You talked about deficits. We always talk about strengths, and we fail to talk about deficits and calibrating both. I think somewhere somebody is going to write a book on power of single digits. She talked about the impact on 7 generations. We talk about 6 degrees of separation. When you want to give a talk, they say, tell me the top 3 things you want to convey. So single digits are so powerful in a world where we talk about planning. Thank you for sharing your experiences and your inspirations for our students. Another thing I should mention, Representative mentioned she's a social scientist, but I should also add she practices what she preaches. In addition to all the work she has done, she has also raised 20 foster kids. Please give her another round of applause. So on behalf of our graduating class, it's my pleasure to give you a token of our appreciation. And this is produced by our students. This beautiful 3D printed owl, it took 16 hours of creativity and patience for them to build. So it is not you press a button and you make it happen. Getting those multiple colors in, it is the creativity of our students. Being the difficult boss I am, they came to me on Friday with some printouts. I said, oh, that is good, but it is small. And they went back, they said, nope, we are going to deliver. And they printed 16 hours of to create each one of them. And it also has a very special piece of history. It is mounted on. In 1993, the Klamath Falls campus was affected by earthquake. So thanks to Mr. Jim Lake, one of our assistant director of facilities, he preserved the wood that came out of the damage. And he makes his special basis to kind of associate our history with these gifts to our special speakers. So it's my pleasure to present this memento to our representative. That wood was from our library, the Learning Resource Center, which was damaged in that earthquake. And that's something we remind ourselves. All these things we do, they have, you don't fight the nature, you work with it. And thank you again for being with us today. Before moving on, I mentioned something about printing of the owl. I want to recognize the 4 students who created the impressive owl that was just given to Representative Sanchez. I extend special thanks to students Levi Halleck as well as Nova Azzapardi. Both of them graduated yesterday. Also David Bainter and Shreyas Zade, a freshman who was involved in creating this, and as well as our Assistant Director of Facility Services, Mr. James Lake, for the special wooden base, making it possible. So another round of applause for our students and our staff. Now, as we begin the recognition portion of the ceremony, I would like to begin with special thanks to members of our faculty and staff. The awards given today are recognition of the dedication, passion, and talent that our faculty and staff bring to Oregon Tech. It's only through the work they do every day that our university's mission continues to be met for the betterment of our students' experience as well as their success. Faculty, staff, and administrators, including those on the platform, could you please rise so we can say thank you? Please rise. Faculty, staff, and administrators on here. Thank you. I'm also pleased to recognize a special member of our platform party today. We are grateful to our network of alumni and know that there are many here today. I would like to take the opportunity to recognize our Vice Chair of the Board of Trustees, Vince Jones. Vice Chair Jones, if you can stand up and be recognized. Vice Chair Jones graduated from Oregon Tech in 1984. He played basketball for Oregon Tech and recently joined the elite ranks of our Golden Owls, who are alumni that graduated from Oregon Tech more than 40 years ago. So we are labeling him the Golden Trustee from now on. Vice Chair Jones, thank you again for all you have done for Oregon Tech and continue to do. I would now like to present the Oregon Tech Foundation Excellence in Teaching Award. This student-selected award honors faculty members who have made a difference in the lives of students through outstanding teaching performance, exemplary commitment to students, and leadership initiatives supporting student success. This year's recipients from the College of Engineering, Technology, and Management. This is Dr. George Druant, Assistant Professor of Computer Science Engineering Technology at Computer Systems Engineering Technology at the Klamath Falls campus, and Gary Lumphrey, Assistant Professor of Management here at the Portland Metro campus. And this year's recipients from the College of Health, Arts, and Sciences are Dr. Mark Newport, Professor of Humanities and Social Sciences, and Tara Guthrie, Associate Professor of Medical Imaging. Both are located at the Klamath Falls campus. Please join me in recognizing these exemplary faculty members. This year, we have 4 faculty members who are selected to receive the prestigious title of Emeritus upon their retirement. The 2024 Emeritus faculty are Richard Bailey, Management, who has served at Oregon Tech for 33 years, Sandra Bailey in Management, who has served at Oregon Tech for 24 years, Stephen Schultz, Medical Imaging Technology, who has served at Oregon Tech for 29 years, Jack Walker, Geomatics, who has served at Oregon Tech for 40 years. Again, please join me in recognizing our emeritus faculty. It is now my pleasure to introduce Dr. Mandy Clark, Vice President for Student Affairs, who will recognize our student awardees who have recorded special accomplishments during their education at Oregon Tech. Vice President Clark's responsibilities at Oregon Tech have included our Tech Opportunities Program, as well as housing and residence life. Her attention has always been on our students, now as well as after they leave Oregon Tech. Thank you, Vice President Clark, for all you do for Oregon Tech. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Mandy Clark.
Thank you and good morning. So all of the Portland Metro Campus Student Award winners were honored in a special ceremony earlier this term, but we also want to recognize them today. Oregon Tech Portland Metro Campus has many exceptional students. The Student Awards Commission had a challenging time selecting this year's recipients, as each nominee is quite exceptional. The following awards were also presented at the awards ceremony on May 31st. Student awardees, please stand as I call your name. Audience members, I would ask that you give us an opportunity for everyone to stand and then give them a round of applause. Our Outstanding Community Service Award goes to Aiden DeRozier, graduating with a Bachelor of Science in Embedded Systems Engineering Technology. Our Outstanding Student Involvement Award goes to Kelsey Arthur, graduating with a Bachelor of Science in Medical Laboratory Science in 2025. Our Outstanding Academic Achievement Award goes to Ashlyn Funk Tracy, graduating with a Bachelor of Science in Software Engineering Technology. Our Outstanding Student Veteran Award goes to Aaron J. Barkley, graduating with a Bachelor of Science in Cybersecurity. Please join me in recognizing these remarkable students. Outstanding scholars are students appointed by their department chair or program director who, in the opinion of the faculty, have demonstrated academic excellence in their major. Only one student may be appointed for any given program. Outstanding scholars are identified by having a distinctive blue and gold cord worn at commencement and have received a certificate recognizing their academic excellence. Will these students please stand and remain standing as I call your name? The Portland Metro program's outstanding scholars this year are from Cybersecurity, Maha Oveas. From Information Technology, Benjamin Edwards. From electrical engineering, Jordan Harris Tuvey. From electronics engineering technology, Taylor Rogers. From embedded systems engineering technology, Mohammed Ahmed. From operations management, Rowan Campbell. Technology and management, Ethan Wells. Renewable energy engineering, Miles McElroy. Software engineering technology, Keegan Hauser. Medical laboratory science, Jaden Cast. Please join me in a round of applause for these outstanding scholars.
Thank you, Vice President Clark. Congratulations again to all the student awardees. Today, we have the honor of hearing from a graduating student who represents the College of Engineering, Technology, and Management. I am pleased and proud to introduce Mustafa Refi, who is graduating today with a Master of Science in Engineering in Electrical Engineering. Mustafa's higher education journey began in 2006 after 2 soccer injuries. They changed his course from becoming a professional soccer player to pursuing an engineering degree. He went on to earn a Bachelor of Science in Engineering Physics from Ibn Tuful University in Kenitra, Morocco. Mustafa was the first in his family to finish college, and with encouragement from his brother, he moved to the United States to continue his education. Since then, Mustafa has faced obstacles such as language barriers, financial setbacks, and illness, but these challenges have not deterred him. Mustafa held roles at Form Factor Inc. on Comcast before joining Intel in 2018 as a production test technician 3. His current position with Intel is in wafer assembly technology development as a packaging research and development engineer. Now with a master's degree from Oregon Tech, Mustafa said his graduation symbolizes overcoming numerous obstacles and pursuing new dreams. Mustafa has already made a lasting mark at Oregon Tech, and we truly appreciate his exemplary dedication in earning his degree. Please join me in welcoming our student speaker, Mustafa Refi. Stay here for a photo after that.
السلام عليكم. السلام عليكم يا أمي يا جنة الحنان يا نبض قلبي والأمان. في عيدك يشرق كل زمان وبدعائك يزول الظلام. Buenos dias. Bonjour. صباح الخير. Tifawin and 30 feet from where I come. Good morning, professors, staff, families and friends, fellow graduate class 2024. It is an honor to stand before you today, which is a special day for many reasons. First, brothers and sisters, this is the Eid. Eid Mubarak to 1.9 Muslims around the world. Second, today is the Father Day. Happy Father Day to 1.5 million fathers around the world and 66 million in the United States. I don't know how many are here. Happy Father's Day for you. Thank you for accepting this job. It's an unpaid job. It's a job that nobody's saying thank you to you, and you wanted the best for your kids. I am my father myself, and I want the best for my son. I want him to be better than me. Sorry. And finally, And finally, today is our graduation day. As we celebrate this significant milestone in our lives, we have worked hard, we faced challenges, and we're growing together. I'm excited to share with you my journey, how I get here today. A story I believe could be a movie on Netflix, titled From Soccer to Engineering. My dream was to be a soccer player, like my son. But two-hand injuries changed my course. Imagine this. 2 weeks after my second surgery, it was finally time to follow up an appointment with Dr. Aziz. The day could not be hotter than jalapeno pepper in Marrakesh summer day. The walk to the doctor's office was a struggle. We finally arrived at Dr. Aziz's office feeling pickled, like cucumber in the jar. My parents were clearly weary. Mom and Dad looks like they just ran a marathon in the desert of Morocco. Sweat dripped down for their face, and their eyes were wide open, concerned. The classic parent, when their kid breaks something important. And this time, it's my hand, and twice. I don't need to explain, or I don't need to tell you how you can picture that. Here am I, feeling flatter than a default soccer ball after a penalty kick. Dr. Aziz was very calm, with a voice smoother than mint tea. Examined my hand, he explained the surgery, and everything going well until I think, or I believe, he wanted to make a joke. I call it dark comedy. He mentioned what will happen if I broke my hand for the third time. He said, the next surgery, it will be easy because he is just going to cut my hand. My adoptive and biological mother of 12 screamed, William Wimpty Willie, means, oh mother, oh mother. I think, or I believe, that she doesn't understand the job of domestic engineer, or maybe the situation was deeper, so she cannot understand what's going on. But my father was strong, man of integrity, a responsible man. He cried and said with a deep voice, it is your fault, Fatima. Dr. Aziz ignored them. I don't know why, but he did. And he told me a nice story about how he loves soccer or how he loves Legos. And actually, he did the same thing for me. He took a bone from my right hip and put it in between my wrist and screw it with 2 screws. And if he can choose another job, it will be an engineer. An electrical engineer, he said. The doctor proposed, and I believe he demanded, to stop playing soccer at least for 3-4 years if I don't want to risk my hand. My father was strong. When I say it, I mean it. Was fighting with cancer during all the time I know him, since I was 6 until when I was 23. He said, we fight together. I get well, and you became an electrical engineer. I had a choice to keep playing soccer and risk my hand, put my parent in the same situation, or turn the page. I choose to move. I choose to become an electrical engineer in that moment. An electrical engineer for me, serve humanity. For example, bring light during the dark of night, cool the heat during the winter, and warm the cold during the summer. The journey was not easy. Oh, Father. Become an engineer is not easy. Courses were very, very hard for me. A bad student to turn to an A student, I needed a miracle. When I said a miracle, I meant it. I remember my first years in college at Satat City. I was failing all the classes with no exception. The time I was trying very, very hard than anybody in the classroom. I remember sleeping only 3 hours during the night, and I still failed. I don't know why, but I did. And I remember I was so close to drop. I was. My last exam in that term was in electronic, and it was so difficult. One of the hardest course I ever had. And that night, I decided to take a nap, 1 hour, then I will study for my next day exam. But I slept all the night. I wake late for the exam by 20 minutes. The teacher was super lucky to let me get in. It was a very difficult exam. I hope he didn't let me get in. But I did what I know. I could not understand the result I'm getting. A negative resistance? I never saw that before. I double-check my work, but I still getting a negative resistance. I remember the last question was what the circuit represent. I said, a negative resistance. And I turn my paper and I start thinking about what can I do for my next job. And I thought I will sell dates. I like sweets. My wife knows that. And I was thinking about it for 2 weeks after the professor gave us the grades, and 90% of the students fail. Zeros, ones, twos, threes. And I said, oh my God, it's happening. And then because we have the grade over 20, I need to say that. And then he called me to stand in front of all the classroom, and he said, good job, Mustafa, 20 over 20. I screamed like a soccer player, and I say, so! I felt like I was playing a soccer game and I scored the best goal in my life. It was an amazing feeling, a game changing. I felt like I was playing again. The next day, I was on the bus to see my parents. Unfortunately, on the way, there was a terrible accident I was involved in it. 17 people lost their life. And thankfully, I escaped with an injury only on my leg, not my hand. I was so happy with that. Shaking, I arrived home to find a confused scene. My mother and brother Alumni were arguing, and Dad wasn't well. Despite the situation, to surprise my dad, he was smiling, and he said, any good news? I know a good grade always made him happy, even during difficult times. After 2 years, and at the night before my last exam to get my bachelor degree, my father went to meet his maker. The next day, I was taking the exam for my last exam to get my bachelor degree, and I remember tears all over my paper. After 3 weeks, where I was traveling with my best brother, friend, and the father who took the place of my father is my brother Shuaib. I had a call from my classmate Alami, told me that I got my bachelor degree in physics. My brother Shuaib, a huge support, encouraged me to chase a higher education in the USA. He even offered financial help without expecting anything in return. I know this was a major sacrifice of his life and part. Thank you, Shuaib. After moving to the United States, it wasn't until I arrived here and I realized the importance of English language. Starting from scratch wasn't easy, but I was determined to learn. I found a job at Weekly Market called High Market at Boston, carrying vegetables, cleaning bathrooms. I was a waste disposal worker. I want to tell you something, that we, as an Americans, we throw a lot of food and garbage. I believe 60% of our grocery, we just tossed it. I remember once being on the top of a dumpster with a coworker, Amina, using my feet to push down the garbage. And that moment, I received a call from my mother wishing me happy birthday. She said, "Where are you?" I said, "Mom, I am on the top of the mountain." She said that she was praying for me all the night to be always on the top. I told her, "Mom, take some rest during the night. You need your beauty sleep. And I need to go down because it smells bad on the top of the mountain." Time gets really tough. And I faced homelessness. I was actually homeless for a month. Rent gets expensive. Every year, 14% is too much. Increasing my rent. In fact, everything gets expensive. One thing still the same is my income. I believe our income. Thankfully to my sister Jeanette, stepped like a true guardian angel, along with her wonderful husband and their 3 kids. They opened their home and heart to me, offering endless support and encouragement. Life also surprised me. Despite these challenges, love knocked my heart. I made the most wonderful, incredible woman, my wife, Aricide Mendoza. Her beauty is captivating. She is stunning, gorgeous, elegant, charming. And if I find another adjective or adverb, I will use it. We need more of these, especially for ESL students. I love you, Aricide Mendoza. This is now on YouTube, which is more powerful than a tattoo. However, it's her unwavering support and strength that truly shine. Together, we start a family and face whatever came on our way. A team built on love and strength. Having a children or a kid can be expensive when you have no support. Abdullah, the new star of Real Madrid, remember this name? Like any other kid, need things like milk, diaper, and you name it. As his dad, it was my responsibility to make sure he had everything he needed. I landed a job at convenience store, but it is demanding, long shift, 16 hours a day, with only 15-minute break for 6 days straight. But with my amazing wife's support, everything changed. She saw an opportunity at Comcast and applied for me. The next day, I got a call for an interview. Excited, nervous. My first interview in United States, and I'm gonna say if my time as ESL student is gonna pay off. I went to the interview, everything went well until they mentioned needed a driver license. Here the kicker. I'd never ever drive a car before. Thankfully, they gave me 3 days to get one. Learning to drive in a single night was a crazy challenge. But I was determined. I took the computer test by $5, you know. The next day, and somehow I passed with only one mistake. I think it was a big luck. Now I had to find a car. While searching for a car, I saw an older gentleman talking to two girls, speaking a language that I don't understand. I believe could be Mandarin, but I was sure, or I hope, he offered driver license. I asked, but he did not respond. One of the two girls said he doesn't speak English, but he gave a driver license and he has a car. I was happy. His gestures were clear. Somehow we understand each other. I know I had to act fast. For $100, he agreed to teach me that night. I think that his name was Yusuf. I managed to learn the basic in just one evening. The next day, I passed the driver test with a flying score. This whole experience was a tropical storm, but with my wife's support and luck, I had the job and I got my license. All with a few days. It was crazy time, but it showed me the power of determination and the unexpected help you can find along the way. I had to set aside my dream of a master's degree in electrical engineering, and I find a job finally at Intel after I applied, believe or not, more than 1,000 times. Taking the interview for more than 5 times. But thankfully I got it. After 3 years, Intel offered funding my master's degree at OIT, and also it was not easy. I had many challenges, illness, surgeries, and my apartment get involved in a fire caused by our neighbor. And even my mother declined health present a constant problem. I don't think I have time to go over another story during my time at OIT. But I want to present a golden thank you to an incredible network at OIT. Professors like Dr. Crispo, Dr. Obey, and Dr. Christina, and Dr. Nagy deserve a massive gratitude. Their understanding and encouragement were an instrument in my success. Today, graduation feels like the end of a long journey, similar than retirement from a soccer career I never had. The achievement is a testimony to overcome obstacles and chase dreams in new direction. As a professional student, it's time for me to retire. I was always thinking to say this when I was playing soccer. And I will let this time to pass without saying it. I have an advice for my fellow graduate student. When you have a choice between A or B, I believe that the only wrong choice is regret. And also I have a challenge to all people around the world. We can't prove that a group of people are good. It's impossible. But we can see that this person is good. My challenge to you, can you be that good person? To my family in Morocco I'm going to speak in Arabic because they don't understand. هم لا يعرفون ما معنى أن تكون شخصا يتجاوز كل شيء وهو صامت. يتجاوز ويتجاوز بكل هدوء، وحتى يعتقد من يراك أنك لم تتعثر يوما. لا أحد سيعرف إلى أي مدى أنت متعب، فظاهرك منظم وتفاصيلك الهادئة لا تشير بمقدار التعب الذي تخفيه، لأنك تبتسم كثيرا لن يشعر بك أحد. للدكتور خالد توفيق. To my dearest wife and beautiful son, life without you is incomplete. You are my everything. And to me, to Mustafa Rifi, I forgive you. You did well. And to my team at Al Jadida City called DIG, they are just won the second division and they are going to the Premier Division yesterday. I want to tell them how my brother Alami said, والدفاع اشترطت ديما دفاع. Thank you.
Excuse me. Did you get their attention? Yes. Eid Mubarak to you and your family. Thank you. Is your family here? Can you stand up?
That beautiful.
All right. Thank you, Mustafa. I know your story is bound to inspire many others. It's now my pleasure to welcome Oregon Tech's Provost, Dr. Joanna Mott, to the podium for the presentation of our graduates. Dr. Mott joined Oregon Tech as Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs in 2019, and since then he has led many important initiatives in support of our academic enterprise and our students. She also now leads the Strategic Enrollment Management Initiative for the university. Before joining Oregon Tech, Dr. Mott served in several roles at different institutions. These included Dean of the College of Natural Sciences and Mathematics at California State University, Sacramento, Department Head of Biology at James Madison University in Virginia, and a faculty member and Department Chair of Life Sciences at Texas A&M University, Corpus Christi. Please join me now in welcoming Oregon Tech's Provost, Dr. Joanna Mott, to present our graduates.
Thank you, President Naganathan. Will the graduating students please rise? Will the faculty please rise? President Naganathan, these students who comprise the class of 2024 are candidates for bachelor's and master's degrees in their respective fields. Upon completion of their required curriculum, they are recommended by the faculty to receive their degrees. President Naganathan, please join me at the podium for the conferring of degrees.
Thank you, Dr. Mott. Upon the recommendation of the faculty and by the authority vested in me by the state of Oregon and the trustees of the Oregon Institute of Technology, I do confer upon all of the qualified candidates, including those in absentia, the bachelor's and master's degrees for which they have met the requirements. You are charged with the duties and responsibilities of the degree and granted the privileges and prerogatives pertaining thereto. Congratulations, class of 24. Please join me in congratulating them together with a round of big applause. And now we will begin with the recognition ceremony for our graduates. Dr. Michelle Preston, Associate Dean of the College of Health, Arts, and Sciences, will now recognize each of the graduates.
Faculty, please be seated. Will the first row of graduates please move to the side aisle? Remaining graduates can now be seated, and reception line please form. Okay. Presenting the graduates for the departments of Health Sciences and Medical Imaging is the Department Chair and Associate Professor, Dr. Jamie Kennel.
The first graduate in the Bachelor of Science Dental Hygiene, graduating cum laude, Yvette Bazan Ayala. Our next graduate in the Bachelor of Science Diagnostic Medical Sonography, graduating summa cum laude and outstanding scholar, Nicole Maria Elizabeth Landsberg. Sinclair Sachiko Matias. Graduating cum laude, Tina Nguyen. The first graduate in the Bachelor of Science Echocardiography, graduating summa cum laude, Peyton Chittum Collier. Alisa Carilla. Graduating cum laude, Amanda Nguyen. The graduate in the Bachelor of Science Respiratory Care, Justine D. Best. The first graduate in the Master of Science Applied Behavior Analysis, Courtney Angelique Rawls.
I want to back up and say, presenting the graduates of the Departments of Humanities and Social Science is Department Chair and Professor Dr. Maria Lynn Kessler.
Samantha Townsend. The first graduate in the Bachelor of Science, Applied Psychology, Tyler Dowell. Graduating summa cum laude, Amanda Hornibrook. Marina Irene Mijares.
Dr. Nestle Alp, Dean of the College of Engineering, Technology, and Management, will now recognize each of the graduates.
Thank you, Dr. Preston, and congratulations to all graduates. Presenting the graduates for the Department of Computer Systems and Engineering is Department Chair, Associate Professor Dr. Stefan Andre.
The first graduate in the Bachelor of Science, Embedded Systems Engineering Technology, graduating summa cum laude and as an outstanding scholar, Yusuf Ahmed. Graduating cum laude and with an Outstanding Community Service Award, Aidan DeRosier. Graduating cum laude, Chris Cope. Ryan Welch. The first graduate in the Bachelor of Science, Software Engineering Technology, graduating summa cum laude, Gabriel Hunter Browning. Graduating magna cum laude, Nathaniel Castle. Graduating summa cum laude and with an Outstanding Academic Achievement Award, Ashlyn Funk Tracy. Graduating summa cum laude and as an outstanding scholar, Keegan Hauser. Graduating magna cum laude, Antonio Liu. How's this going? Graduating cum laude, Chandler Martin. Graduating cum laude, Oluwamodupe Okunkeye. Matthew Reed. Patrick Stauffer. Sanjita Dahal Tapa. Graduating summa cum laude, Miles Waring. Jason Wells.
Presenting the graduates for the Department of Electrical Engineering and Renewable Energy Engineering is Department Chair, Assistant Professor Dr. Naga Korivi.
The first graduate in the Master of Science Engineering, also graduating with a Bachelor of Science in Electrical Engineering, summa cum laude, Logan Rafe Vaz. Mohammed El Mustafa Rifi. Graduating cum laude, Forrest Short. The first graduate in the Bachelor of Science, Electrical Engineering, graduating magna cum laude and as an outstanding scholar, Jordan Harris Tuvey. Graduating cum laude, Ashley Miller. The graduate in the Bachelor of Science, Electronics Engineering Technology, graduating summa cum laude and as an outstanding scholar, Taylor Allen Rogers. The first graduate in the Bachelor of Science, Renewable Energy Engineering, Christine Nadiel. Graduating cum laude, Adama Torre.
Presenting the graduates for the Department of Management is Assistant Professor Ian King.
The first graduate in the Bachelor of Science, Healthcare Management, graduating magna cum laude and as an outstanding scholar, Heather Lauren Farrow. Regina Milner. The first graduate in the Bachelor of Science, Cybersecurity, graduating cum laude and as an Outstanding Student Veteran Award winner, Erin J. Barkley. Bryce Davis. Graduating summa cum laude and as an outstanding scholar, Maha Ove. Graduating summa cum laude, Pacific Stenzelin. Graduating magna cum laude, Cole Wilson. The first graduate in the Bachelor of Science, Information Technology, Nim Dang. Graduating magna cum laude, Billy Price. Graduating cum laude, Kevin Tu.
Presenting the graduates for the Department of Manufacturing and Mechanical Engineering and Technology is Interim Department Chair and Associate Vice Provost of Research and Academic Affairs, Dr. Abdi Avcı.
The first graduate in the Bachelor of Science, Mechanical Engineering, Chase Arens. Graduating summa cum laude, Ian Bear. Pedram Bahrami. Ronan Campbell. Jose Luis Chavez. Taylor Jacobs. Graduating summa cum laude, Tyler Jameson. Taylor Lindsay. Nicholas von Einern. The first graduate in the Bachelor of Science, Mechanical Engineering Technology, graduating cum laude, Melanie Ross. And finally, graduating magna cum laude, Ethan Michael Wood.
Thank you, Dean Alp and Associate Dean Preston, for recognizing our graduates. Again, I'm going to request the graduates to please rise. Graduates, please move your tassels to the left side of your cap, signifying your graduation from the Oregon Institute of Technology. Please be seated. And now for a special message from Rachel Novak, a 2010 graduate of Biology Health Sciences. Rachel is a case study in following your dreams. Academic, artistic, and athletic are just 3 words that describe her. From swimming, running, acrobatics, and fire dancing, Rachel kept an active lifestyle alongside her biology pre-med studies at Oregon Tech. After Oregon Tech, Rachel went on to earn a Doctor of Pharmacy and has also added professional mermaid and freediving instructor to her list of accomplishments. She works as a pharmacist with a focus on wellness and travel medicine, as a performance artist, and is the owner of Aquanauts Freediving in Las Vegas, where she offers freediving courses and professional mermaid entertainment. Her career highlights, who thought Oregon Tech graduates are in eclectic, right? Her career highlights include receiving a Screen Actors Guild nomination for work as a stunt performer on Black Panther 2, Wakanda Forever being featured on the Mer People Netflix documentary, and competing as season 15 of American Ninja Warrior, and for the 2023 U.S. national team at the CMAS Freediving World Championships. Please give a warm welcome to our alumna, Rachel Novak.
Hello, everyone, and congratulations. So, today is a day to celebrate you and your accomplishments, so congratulations. It's also a day to thank our instructors, our family, our coaches, and our mentors for helping us to get to this point in our lives. So thank you to you guys. I remember my elation at being in your spot. I was daydreaming about how my life would look after graduation. My future looked bright back then, but I want to share a glimpse of a more recent moment that I never believed could happen when I was sitting where you are today. I hope that it encourages you to imagine the impossible, and it inspires you to transform your daydreams into reality. Imagine being 15 feet underwater. I'm covered head to toe in blue waterproof makeup, dressed in the costume of a warrior. I hear the word action, and I see the blurry image of a fiberglass whale moving towards me underwater. I reach out to grab a handhold, and I race through the water like I'm headed into battle. As I surface to take a breath, I never imagined that my education at Oregon Tech would lead me to the unlikely opportunity to work as an underwater stunt performer on Black Panther 2: Wakanda Forever. While this career opportunity might seem random, I'm here to tell you that a career in science or technology and career choices off the beaten path are not mutually exclusive. I'm going to share 3 life lessons that allowed a nerdy, bookish wallflower from Oregon Tech to collect a host of unique experiences, from working in stunts, to performing as a fire dancer in Las Vegas, to competing on American Ninja Warrior, all while working as, believe it or not, a pharmacist. The first lesson that helped me acquire these experiences is to cultivate curiosity and to challenge your stereotypes. I originally decided to attend OIT thanks to the influence of Coach Ken Kaufman, who recruited me for the OIT track and cross-country teams. However, in my freshman year of college, my dad was laid off, which left me scrambling to figure out how I was going to pay for college. I remember walking to one of my classes and seeing a flyer that said free scholarship money. It was a flyer for the Miss Klamath County Miss City of Sunshine Scholarship Pageant, and I have to give it to their marketing skills, but free is a surefire way to get any college student's attention. I remember perusing the flyer thinking, I'm going for the academic and athletic scholarships, but that is it. I am not a pageant girl. Over the course of several months, I learned how to overcome my crippling fear of being in front of audiences. I choreographed my first dance performance, and on crowning night, I stood in disbelief as they called my name up to be the next Miss Klamath County. They must have made a mistake, I said. Who would want a nerdy cross-country runner who hates wearing dresses and doesn't like makeup to be the next Miss Klamath County? Because I chose to challenge my stereotypes, I gained a whole new perspective of what it meant to be a pageant girl. I earned enough scholarship money to pay for my entire college education at Oregon Tech, and the interview and performance skills taught to me by the selfless volunteers of the program were the first steps down the road for an unlikely career in circus and stunts. I'm eternally grateful that I questioned my preconceived notions, and I encourage you to do the same throughout your lives. The second lesson I learned is to not limit yourself by a fear of rejection. As I moved through my early life, I followed the standard formula laid out by society. Graduate from high school, get your diploma. Graduate from college, get your degree. From there, get a job or go into grad school. I chose the latter, and at the age of 24, I graduated with my doctorate in pharmacy. We all know the next parts of the standard formula. Begin your career, find the love of your life, and buy a house with a white picket fence. Things have changed a bit since age 24, but at the time, the idea of a 9-to-5 job, a house, and a marriage just didn't feed my soul. You know what did? Running off to join the circus. I struggled a lot with what to tell my parents, and my first job interview to be a pharmacist was just as challenging. My heart was pounding in my chest as I looked at my pharmacy manager in the eyes and said, I want to help people be healthier as a pharmacist, but what feeds my soul is performing. Performers have a shelf life, and I believe that I can be both a successful pharmacist and a performer. I will show up for every pharmacy shift that I'm scheduled for, and I'll give each day 100%. You will imagine my relief when several days later I received a job offer. And true to my word, I worked as a pharmacist by day and a circus performer by night, grateful that I took a chance and thankful that my pharmacy manager took a chance on me. If you are considering the choice between pursuing a job and pursuing your passion, be true to yourself and do both. It sounds cliche, but you will miss 100% of the shots that you don't take, and you don't want to look back on life and wonder what could have been. The last and most important lesson that I've learned is to utilize the negative experiences in your life as a catalyst for positive change. Fast forward a few years from my first pharmacy interview, and I was working my dream job in pharmacogenomics. I booked regular weekend gigs as a fire dancer in Seattle. I had my dream partner, and the life I had always envisioned for myself was within my grasp. Just when I thought that life couldn't get any better, I was right. The company had a hiring freeze and a layoff. My partner told me he had found a better match for him than me. And to add to my dilemma, I ended up in the hospital with a traumatic brain injury, of all things, from doing my morning pull-ups. I remember laying in the hospital bed wondering if I'd ever perform or be a pharmacist again. And the potential loss of what made up my identity triggered what I would consider to be a quarter-life crisis. What do you do when the things that you've been working so hard for are taken away in an instant? In that moment of crisis, I created a quarter-life bucket list, a list of 12 skills and activities that I would aim to accomplish within the year. They were activities that I had been scared to try, including learning how to rock climb, learning how to scuba dive, learning how to skydive, and pursuing a career in stunts. Overcoming my fears helped me mourn the loss of my old self. They helped me find communities of inspiring people, gain empowering skills, and they helped me find the value in the new version of me rising from the ashes. If you are struggling right now, take one step today to become a better version of yourself. You are not promised or owed anything in life, but you do have the power to create the life that you want to live. Now, I want to take a moment to hear from you guys. How many people here already have a job lined up? Raise your hand. Yeah? Okay, how many people here are going to grad school? Nice. Okay, so you don't have to raise your hand, but I'm also opening up to the rest of the audience. How many of you are undecided about what you are going to do with your life? Yeah? I'm here to tell you that it's okay if you don't know, and it's okay if you change your mind along the way. Graduation is just the beginning of your life's education. And I'm excited to say that my careers in diving, stunts, and performance have come full circle, and they're now contributing to my evolving career path to help athletes and performers through sports pharmacy. Curiosity, creativity, and a desire for lifelong learning are just as important as the outstanding education that you received here at Oregon Tech. Reinvent yourself often and throughout your life, and you'll have the opportunity to live multiple lives in one. Take it from a professional mermaid and a pharmacist living in the desert. The world is your oyster. Now go out and make waves. Thank you.
What an inspiring background. Well, congratulations to all of our new alumni graduates. You are now joining the ranks of thousands of Oregon Tech alumni. The number I heard is 30,000 yesterday. Now, I ask all of you in the audience to help me do something very important to show all of our graduates how happy we are for their incredible accomplishments as Oregon Tech grads. So we are going to give them an applause, but we are going to bring the house down with a final round of applause, not a polite applause, but a standing, stomping, yelling, enthusiastic round of applause. Let's do it. Please be seated. As we close today's ceremony, all of us at Oregon Tech wish you well in the coming months and years. As our new alumni, we may call on you to support the next generations of students, just as those before you have, with class presentations, job tips, networking help, and support to help our students stay in school and excel. Graduates, enjoy the rest of your celebration today. Welcome to the beginning of the next part of your life. The 76th Oregon Tech Commencement is now concluded. Please rise for the recessional and wait for the platform party and the graduates to exit the area. Congratulations and go Owls.